confusion, bachelors of past illusion. Now who you choosing? The head of the tail, the bloodshed of the male, or confidence in the veil. Conferences at Yale discussing doctrines of bail, causing people to fail, keeping the third in jail. These words nail everything to the tree, severing all of me from all that I used to be. Formless and void, totally paranoid. Enjoying darkness is Lord, keeping me from the sword. Blocked from mercy, bitter than Cersei. Hungry and thirsty for good meat, we would eat and still dine at the table of deceit. How we complete, from confrontation to retreat. Hi. True enemies defeat, destitute and necessity. Oh, what I need to do is find out how. Hello, so this is my first time here doing a proper live. So there you go. Stay with me. Comments. So today is 6 years to the day that I was sentenced. Hi. So I don't know how I'm going to run this live today. So obviously it's the day that I've basically come off my license. So I went to prison for 3 years for an invasion of prohibition, which I talk about on on a podcast that I did with Raphael Rowe, which you can find on the Second Chance podcast, which is really interesting actually. Yeah, and I don't know, I've had a really interesting day, so I thought I'd come on live. I'm going to start doing more lives on here, interact with people. Hello, thank you so much, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to come on here and interact a bit more with people. I've got my little jar here of questions that I've kind of, and just some topics that I find that I want to talk about. So yeah, I think like even coming off probation is a point in someone's life that's actually on probation. I think people that just can't wait to get to this day. It actually feels like, you know, when you start school for the first time, like you start in secondary school. Like, well, I felt like this anyway. When I started secondary school, and I just felt like that excitement, you know. And I was, you got your uniform hanged up, and I used to watch my uniform like throughout the whole night, just peeking. But like, I just want the next day to come. So yeah, man. So that's it, really. So I don't know. I'm gonna have a little dig in my jar. Woo! No, don't lose one. All right. Well, it popped out, so maybe I should just open it. If you guys have questions, yeah, please feel free to ask as well, because we can just do this as a question and answer. I don't really mind. I just feel like I've got a lot to talk about, and I just find it quite difficult to how can I put it, like put it into segments. So I just feel like let's just have a conversation. So this one I've written, it says under 25s in prison. My experience with under 25s in prison was quite bad. When I went to prison, it was 2018, and there was predominantly, like, I'd say over 25s in the prison. Yeah, at that time. And then when I went back there. I was transferred to like a government prison, and then from there I was transferred to another prison. We'll get to that in the journey. But I was then sent to another prison, and then I went back to Brunsfield. So when I went back, there was like predominantly under 25s on murder charges and, you know, firearm charges and a lot of serious crimes. So it was quite disturbing. I found myself playing auntie, mom, sister, everything, trying to guide these young people in that terrible state, man. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest. Young people seem to do a lot of, and they're just young. They haven't really got much. They haven't got much life in them. So it's like literally having babies in a playpen. It's crazy. How important is faith in prison? Faith, yeah, is probably one of the things that got me through my whole sentence. Just knowing and understanding that there is a higher power, and there's, you know, there was someone there that I could have faith in as well as myself. So yeah, faith was very important. I used to go to Bible studies. I'm not a Christian, but I used to go to the Bible studies just to learn and try to understand like things a bit differently. And then I used to go to Bible studies, and I used to go to chapel every Sunday, which I used to love, because they used to have people come in, like especially Brunsfield and Downfield. They used to have people from the outside come in, so they'd have like choirs coming from outside. They'd have people that have actually been to prison and come in and tell their stories, which was really powerful at the time. In that, when you're in that state, you know, like I think hearing from people that have actually been through something that you've been through, or, you know, have been where you've been, it is so comforting. Like, it's so comforting. Yeah, like when I was getting sentenced, I remember
I remember my friend sent me an email with like all these quotes on it, and I was just like, "What is she doing? Like, I'm not a Christian. This is not gonna work." And I remember just sitting there one day, and I just went through. I had the Bible because you get a Gideon Bible. It's called in the prison. It's a brown Bible with gold writing. It's called the Gideon Bible, and I remember looking for the scriptures in there, and reading them, and after a while, there was like it was just like that was me every day, and it did help. I was looking at an 8 to 12 year stretch, and I got 6 years, so it's saying something. Show and tell. Oh, aren't you lucky? This is a good one. This is a good one. I've got all my bits here. All my bits. Show and tell. Where do I start, man? Oh, Lord. Where do I start? I've got loads of stuff to show and tell. So first of all, I found this. So this is I made this. It's knitted. So I made this when through during the COVID. Oh my god, I was doing a lot of knitting through COVID and making stuff out of magazines, like the TV guides, folding them up, and yeah, turning them into vases. I actually have a few left. This is like one of the girls made this for me. Lee. It's really sweet. It just says Lee 2018. That was the year that I went to prison, and then she did this one as well. It says to the one and only First Lady Lee. I hope you like your picture, love, Dave. And she drew me this as well. So I had a lot of like I got on with all the girls in there. This is the picture that I don't know if you can see it. Someone drew this of me. Hold on, let me try to take that. She said this is me. She stood at my door. Well, she stood at her door and drew this picture and said it was me. I think that is hilarious. Um, I got so much to show and tell. Where do I start? Like, I did this on a TikTok live. I went through some of my cards. Like, this is a card from a lifer in Foston Hall, which is based in Derby. And I think this is when my brother died. And she made this card for me. It says 26th of the 2nd, 2019. So this was when my uncle died. So my uncle died on the. Thank you, because I'm just useless at this. Um, yeah, so my uncle passed away tomorrow, the 24th. And I remember I was in Derby. I was so far away. I didn't see my mum, my daughter. I didn't see anyone for like 6 months. And I remember my uncle passed away in that time. But bless her, Jodie. Says, "Hi Lee. I know it's not easy going through what you are at the moment. So just thought I'd make you a little card to let you know I'm here for you if you need a shoulder or an ear to borrow, and also to say thank you for being there with your friendship. You are ace. Keep smiling. Stay strong. Enough love and a huge hug, Jodie." That was so sweet. Bless her. See, Jodie. So yeah. See, why did it do show and tell? I could show and tell all day. There's loads of things to show and tell. Like, let me see. Like, I used to get a lot of stuff from the girls, especially like I used to get Christmas cards from the girls. Show and tell. The canteen. Woo, the canteen sheets. Oh, are ridiculous. Yeah, price wise. Anyway, I feel like I should do a whole live on just the canteen sheet. It's ridiculous the amount of money that you have to spend just to eat. But it's quite big. It's like 3 pages long. So this is basically what you used to get, right? Look there, that's my name. Oh, my money. I think this was my last canteen sheet. Um, what else do I have? Oh, I have a card here that you guys might find interesting. I can hear better now as my. So, oh, bless you. So I've got a card here from our friend. Yeah, this is cute. Our friend that was with yeah, was potentially in a relationship with that crazy girl, Joanna Dennehy. Yeah, this was a card that she wrote. She gave me for Christmas. Then my last Christmas in ESP. So that was what 2020. Yeah, 2021. It just says dearly. It's so nice having you here at ESP and being able to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You're a good egg. All my love. And then her name. And she signed this card under the name as well. Just saying, she signed it. See what it says there? See that? Don't tell lies. Don't tell lies. I don't know. I've got loads of little show and tells. Item for all right. So this right. So in COVID. Oh, I wonder. So in the COVID pandemic, right? This piece of paper here, basically, you could write. You could write something on here. Yeah. Submit it, and then they'll put it in the TV in like the TV in a newsletter. Sorry, because I have got a newsletter. I'm just wondering where it is. But basically, they put it in a newsletter. So like, obviously because of COVID, there was wings that were shut down, right? So you'd fill this out. So your personal copy, and then they had someone designated to publish it. So if it didn't get published next 1 week, it'll get published the week after. Did you have to take the jab? I didn't have to, but they was pushing people to take it. Yeah, definitely pushing people to take it in East Sutton Park, which is the open prison. There was trying to make it look like you couldn't come out unless you got the vaccine. Oh, I don't know. Right, my show and tell. I don't. I think it's going to take up too much time. I think I'm going to rethink that one. Let me put the show and tell over there. I'll do that as a whole live. Right. Woo. So, sound problem with my ears as I'm. Oh, bless you. You're fine. Do you need me to speak louder? Is it me that's speaking low? It might be. Can everyone else hear me? If I am, I'm so sorry. Right, so this says 10 minutes / 1 hour limited phone calls in COVID. So that basically means that there was a point so when COVID hit, they changed, like, number one, we didn't have mobile phones in our cells at that time, even though we should have already. Yeah, they did, even though they did already, yeah. Even though they didn't, they should have, but they didn't have phones, right? So when the COVID pandemic hit, it's like it was this whole rush to try and get all these phones into the cells, yeah? Now, when the pandemic started, we didn't have the phones. So there was 3 phones on the landing for 40 women, yeah? Cool. But the wing that we lived on, the majority of the people didn't really use the phone. Like, you live on the wing with people, you kind of know, get the gist of who uses the phone regularly, who uses it every day, who uses it every week, whatever. So anyway, the pandemic's hit now. They're wiring and doing whatever. But in the midst of that, they've put us on 10-minute phone calls. So you're on the phone to your family, and then after 10 minutes, it cuts off. You're like, is this even legal? So fast forward now, they've installed the phones into the rooms. They've put a cap of 1 hour on the phones. So I can now only call home for an hour. Even though I had my own credit, my own stuff, I can only go on there for an hour. So that was a big problem. Yeah, that was a big problem. And then another thing they did as well is so they gave everyone £5, yeah? So every prisoner got £5 on their credit, okay? This was some government scheme. I don't know if you lot heard about this, right? But every prisoner was given £5 a week, yeah? Towards their phone calls to call home during the pandemic, right? So you have a lot of people in there that don't have support from home. They don't have money coming in. They don't have no resources to funds like that, yeah? They just, yeah, they don't have no resource to fund. So people were, and plus, not many people, and then they don't have the support. So they don't really have anyone to call home, but they're getting the £5, right? So a lot of people was like, Ma, I'm going to keep the £5 and I'm going to save it for my release. Makes sense, right? No, not at all. Like, sorry, that comment just threw, but yeah, that was crazy. Crazy. Like, what they did in the pandemic just made no sense. No sense. And then what they did is that they took, so all right, sorry, so they gave everyone £5, right, for like, I'd say, let's say 6 months, yeah. So they gave everyone £5 on their credit for 6 months. So for the people that wasn't calling home, you do the maths, the £5 are just accumulating, right? So in their eyes, they're like, well, I've got money. I can at least support myself when I get out. You know, I've got a little bit of income, something, because you only get what you earn. And most prisons, you can only earn £10 a week. So out of that £10, you have to get your toiletries, you have to get your canteen, and if you smoke, you get your vapes and whatever. Do you understand? And also, they provide Avon. So if you want your Avon, all of this is out of £10 a week. So there's no money for that. So people were quite grateful for the extra for the extra £5 a week. You know, these people took back the money. So and then no, they put a cap on it first. They said anyone that's got over £20 on their credit, that's from them. They're taking it back. So it was crazy. So they allowed people to watch their credit go up and up. Like some people had that £100 and and then by the time and then by the time it came, that was it. It was done. COVID compensation. I don't think they got enough money for that. COVID compensation, like that's just a start. That's just the question on here. You've heard us talk about it before. We've got like, they started off with 50 minutes of exercise, and then we was like, no, this is against the law. You're not allowed to do that. You actually are not allowed to do that. We are actually by law supposed to have 45 minutes, right? Outside. So I lost one. Right, so let's move on. Lady living in the second Downview. Right, so there was a woman that lived in the Seg. Her name was Vicky. This is, yeah, in Downview. She lived in the Seg. She lived in the segregation unit. Like, she actually lived there. Like, it was her cell in the Seg. So they gave her so in the segregation unit, you're not allowed to have anything. It's like the punishment within the punishment, right? So you get you're in the cell in the prison as it is, and you get your little, I wouldn't even call them luxuries, your basic necessities, yeah? And then you go to the Seg, you get stripped of all of that. But this woman is happily living in the segregation away from everyone. So she doesn't do exercise, she doesn't do anything with anyone. It was just so weird. Yeah, and I think she came out one day. And then I found when she came out the day, she was disabled. So I was just like, why would you have this woman living in the Seg? It's crazy. Prison is a crazy place, you know. Compensation definitely times. We only had 10 minutes to do everything. It was a mess. That's right. Was you in there? Was you in Send when that was going on? Do you know what? It was something that we thought about, man, but I feel like, I don't know. I wouldn't say don't fight, but do it. I feel like there is some. They're gonna. Do you know what it is? I feel like they're just gonna make some excuse or some justification as to why they put us through the hell that they did. Do you know what I mean? It's quite rude if you ask me. Right, here goes the next one. My plans for release. Oh, interesting. So when I read this, I think I was talking about what was my plans for release, because I did have a plan. I was thinking about my release literally from the minute I went in there, because I have a child. So it's like, how am I going to rebuild my life? What's it going to look like? So the plans I had was to come home and start my business again, which was facilitating baby showers, which is something that I really enjoyed doing. I loved it. So I did a business course in there, many business courses to be fair, to prepare myself. And then I came home and I went to a few like craft markets, as I call them. And nobody was looking at them, which was quite strange because they created a lot of attention before. Like I do novelty type nappy cakes and just stuff like that. And they used to, and I used to do quite well. So I was like, you know what? I just changed the strategy of how I'm going to do it and started it again. And it just didn't generate the interest. And I realized it was because of the COVID. So people was just not very, they wasn't open to really touch things like that again. So I had to learn that very fast. And then I don't know, I started to experience the things that the justice system, yeah, the effects of the things I'd experienced. And I just thought, you know what, I have to do something. And then I was getting contacts from the girls in the prison, and, and it just wasn't settling with me. So I contacted an organization, and I've been working with them ever since, to be fair. So my plans when I came out wasn't what I'm doing now. I never thought I'll be doing what I'm doing now or what I'm about to do, which is so exciting. But if it wasn't for this journey, I really wouldn't know about that. Compensation definitely. Okay, and you're talking about Bronzeford. Okay, yeah, I heard it was quite bad in there. I was talking to someone that was in there um, by a post. Yeah, it was, COVID was a bit mad in that prison. Sorry for your loss. It's the hardest thing. I lost 3 loved ones. Yeah, man, I lost I lost 10 members of my family. 10, babe. I lost the first one within 4 months of being in prison, and then I don't know where it is. Actually, that's quite annoying because I was using it. I have a book for everything, but I have this diary here that it's quite sad, but it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, I lost 10 people. Like my brother died, um, my uncle died. I had 3 people that passed in the February, not in the same year as well, which made it even harder, to be fair, because like yeah, it was just a strange time for me. It took more than a toll. If you look on my YouTube, you'll see there's a video about me smoking spice in prison, and that was all based on the loss in it. Like I just couldn't deal with not being able to be there with my mom, and I think because of the people that passed, they were my family members. Like I think with this transition and this new chapter that I'm gonna about to embark on, right? I'll be honest, I've been thinking about it all day, and I have been talking about it I was talking about it on TikTok this morning. Um, I feel like because I had the probation to kind of, like keep my mind focused in a sense, I didn't really give myself time to grieve. I don't think I've ever given myself time to grieve. Hence why I've started the Lost Project, because I feel like when you lose people inside the prison, when you're in prison, it is so like it is. I can't explain it. Like, especially when you know how you are as a person on your wing, and then you get a visit from the chaplain, and you know something's not right. Do you understand? Because you're not in no group, no Bible groups. You ain't got that interaction. And the only time these people come on the wing is when they're telling you things about outside. Do you know what I mean? So can you imagine that happening? Well, I didn't even allow it to happen 10 times. I feel like a lot of the time when I called home, I got the news then as well, which was just another story. But yeah, you get through it, man. You have to get through it. But now is the big challenge, because now I don't have to think about probation. I don't have to think about nothing. Now I have to actually deal with my own self. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's hard, and I think there's not really much support in there, and it's hard because the girls will be like, "Oh, you okay?" And it's just like, I don't even want to talk to you. Like you just don't, you don't understand what's going on. I think it's also hard when you can't go to the funerals, and the way that they look at your family members. So I had a lady who lost the father of her child. It was like her first 2 children. She was a grown woman. She was like 60. And the father of her first 2 children had passed away. Now, this is a man she was with from the age of 14. They grew up together as, partners, and then departed or whatever. But that is her foundation. And they wouldn't let her go. And it was like, how can you not let her go? we did fight it, and she got to go. But it's just initially the system doesn't understand, and they talk about risk. Like it's just an excuse to keep you down, isn't it? Because even in them situations, the chaplain will say, come to the chapel at any time you want and come and do your thing. But depending on the prison, yeah, they're wicked. They're wicked. They depending on the person, they'll be like, yeah, you can't go, and or there's not enough staff, or there's no one to take you. Bronzefield is a bit. See, with Bronzefield, with Bronzefield, yeah, it's like unless someone's at Main Street, you got no chance, mate, because ain't no one walking you back there. So I used to just do sneaky little things like take the trolley. I'll take the trolley back. I used to do the surgery anyway, but I'll take the trolley back. I'll go and get the trolley. Anything to get in there, because once I get in there, I'm going upstairs and doing whatever I need to do in it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you can do that, man. And I just feel like a lot of the people that I'm out here, they don't understand that, man. I'm not the easiest person to get to deal with at the moment. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm dealing with a lot. And then I've come home and people have passed on top of that. Like my best friend, one of my best friends. And then my granddad died 18 days before I came home. I think that was the one for me. And then I came home to funerals. My godmother died 2 days before that, and they never told me. And then her funeral, I think it was like the week after I came home. I was like, I can't leave my house. I can't go. Are you all right? I can't do this. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just, you know what I mean? Oh, it's been a lot, guys. I'm not going to lie to you, man. But I'm here to share the story because I think it's important that people know the real stories about people's lives and what happens in prison, honestly. And, just the reality of the effects that it can have on you, and just the reality. I'm not really interested in about judgment. I'm about truth, and there's no excuses for going to prison. But at the end of the day, when you've been there, you have to understand that there's things that happen in there that have to be addressed. And many women do not talk about it. Like, I'm pretty sure, Nadia, how often have you spoke about your story, your journey? Not many people have spoke about their journey like that. Like, I go into depth. I try not to talk about people's names as such, especially when it comes to officers in Bronzefield. Because I just out them instantly, because I'm just like, we're going to address you, but we're going to do it properly. Because I'm not going to be the one to address you. The officials are going to be the one to address your whole prison. Yeah? Because it's trust me, it's in the jar somewhere. We got there eventually, slowly but surely. Yeah, we do. Every year, I feel like I watch how I feel every year. It is a lot. It is a lot of people to lose. But I feel like it's given me a lot of power as well, because these are the people that I love dearly. Like, these are the people that grew me and, nurtured me from birth. Do you understand? So I actually feel quite grateful to have had them. Although I thought the selfish part of me, wishes I was here, and the shame and the embarrassment of like not being with my mum, because people are not blind. It's like, where's not everyone ever knew I went to prison, so it's like, where is she, where is she? But yeah, we move. So what's this done? Story time. Oh, story time. Women who molest their children. Jesus Christ, Leonard, why did you do that? So Bronzefield, yeah, Nadia, getting stronger day by day. You have to start. Yeah, absolutely. But we'll give you it one day at a time. Right. So Bronzefield. I don't know when you was in Bronzefield, but I was in there 2018 and 2019. At two different times. Like I said, I had to get moved. But anyway. So when I've gone back there in 2019, I've come back from being shipped far away. I've lost 3 members of my family. Like, and I lost the woman that literally pulled me out of my mother, like literally, and my uncle. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a bit nice. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought for a second. I do apologize. 2020 to 2022. Okay, I had gone by then. What was I talking about? Because my mind just went totally blank. Takes a lot. It takes time and a lot of stress. Yeah, and it takes a lot of, and it takes losing people, and it takes a lot of understanding as well. What was I just saying, Nadia? That is so annoying. I'm glad it's only the first time it's happened because it's something that I just do quite often. My train of thought just goes 2022, yeah. But anyway, oh yes, anyway, so I was saying when I was in there, I remember I was saying I'll tell you a story about this crazy woman. So I'm not gonna say that I'm so is it, no, don't worry, don't be sorry, man. Don't be sorry. Everything that is given to us is for us. That's what I believe. I don't think I was given anything more than what I could actually bear. Like, I had my daughter. We're not going to go into that because that's what I'm saying. You were saying what year you was. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah, so when I went in into in 2019, there was a woman on the wing. When she came on the wing, everyone thought she was a police officer. For some reason, women in jail give me joke. They always got something like they see someone and they're like, she's in there for this or she's in there for that. So this woman, there was like she looks like a police officer. She had on like some long cowboy boots. I remember she had blue jeans on and a yellow mustard jumper. I'll never forget her, like literally. Um, and like I said, I got on with everyone on the wing, but I wasn't like I was just like this. It may be a little bit more worse. I'm just toning it down because obviously I'm on the live. But I was vibesy, man, doing my thing. And I was just not a person that I would have confided in if I was her. That's all I'm saying. I would have picked someone else. But for some reason the universe said, pick Lee in it. So she's come back from work one day. She's like, "Oh, Lee, I did the surgery, right, and the laundry and the wing cleaning at one stage, okay. But it was mainly the surgery consistently for at the time I was there. So she saw me often. She was going to court, so I was making sure she got her dinner. She's just a person on the wing. I made sure everyone ate and everyone was looked after. Yeah. So she was just someone on the wing and make sure that she got her food. This particular day now, she's on the wing, or she's come back from somewhere, and she's like, "Harley, can I speak to you? I need to speak to you about something." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So I've gone in her cell, and I remember sitting there, and she said, um, "Please don't judge me." so, so I'm looking at her like, just. So I just said, just say whatever you're saying in it, because you're telling me not to judge you. That means you've already judged yourself. Okay, just saying. So, cut long story short, I'm gonna cut this story short because I don't want to talk about it for too long. So, cut a long story short, she I was sitting there, and she starts explaining her story. Now, this is what you have to understand. You see, when people go to prison, you see Bronzefield, yeah, it's a place where people come from the street, yes, straight from the street to the police station to the jail. Some people come from the police station to the court to the jail. You understand? They come from all different dynamics, yeah, from the situation that they've ended up getting themselves into. Do you get what I'm saying? So when this woman's coming now, she's explaining way too much, like, because it's raw for her, innit? And I don't think she even realized at the time what she was actually doing, because I'm telling you now, after she told me, so she told me some stuff about some videos and pictures that they had of her doing something to the child and the child touching pieces of her. Yeah? So I'm like, but what? See, there's telltale signs in it. So when you don't get posts, when you don't have pictures of your children, you have to check that, because if you don't have pictures of your children, then you're not allowed. Anyone that's in prison, any woman that I know of that's in prison that's allowed to have pictures of their children, has pictures of their children. Whether they put it up on the wall or whether they put it down, either way, they have pictures of their children. This woman had no pictures of her children. And the way she used to talk about her husband was erratic. But anyway, when she started telling me this story, she's like, yeah, this man that she met on the internet, and she started talking about some pills, and then she's like, yeah, and he wanted her to do this, he kept asking her to do this and asking her to do that, and I'm just like, okay, so I didn't say nothing to anyone. I was not about to spread that. I was preparing to tell the officer that was going to be on the next day, because the officer that was on that day was not the officer to tell. So I was waiting till tomorrow to get myself moved off the wing. I'm not living there. Hell to the no, you live 2 doors from me. Hell to the no. We're not doing that. Because this is what I'm saying. In jail, as you know, Nadia, so not to call you Nad, like we're friends, but Nadia, you don't know who people are. You don't know what they've done. Yeah? You got to do some real work to find out what people have actually done. You're so busy just trying to get through the day that you don't cross-reference every single person, innit? Yeah, so anyway, so I didn't say nothing. I made my plans to sort it out the next day. Um, by the next morning, because this is like association time in the evening, yeah. So by the next morning, me and the girl that does the surgery, doing surgery now, innit? She's like, I need to tell you something. So I'm thinking, please do not tell me that this girl told you as well, because it's just gonna go peak tongue. So anyway, so we've ended up working out because I'm still not saying nothing in it. So we've worked out that she's told her too. So I'm like, no, this is crazy. Anyway, she got kicked off the wing instantly. There was no hesitation with that. Kicked off the wing. And then they put her, no, hear me now. So then they put her on another wing. Sorry, I had a very long day. I do apologize. But they put her on another wing, right, with a young girl. Yeah, this girl was about 19, 20 at the most, yeah? They put her in a double with her on the twos, yeah? So I'm like, why is this young girl in a double with this? Why would you put a young girl in the double with the potential child, whatever you want to call them? Yeah? Self-confessed, by the way. Yeah? Self-confessed. And she, yeah. Yeah, so that's the story of her. And then I ended up going, so when I left Brunsfield, I went to Send. When I went to Send, that's where I met Fran. And I went and lived on the ENF. And one day I'm walking, and who do I see? She's like, hi, Lee. I'm like, listen. We ain't going to do this. We're not going to do this. And then I realised that, yeah, the ring that she lived on was the nonce ring. And I was just like, this is fucking... Yeah, so that's the half story of the woman with the child. Don't get me wrong. There was about 5 of them that I know of that was in. There was loads of them, but there was 5 that I knew of, like that I saw every day. You know, there was one that literally followed me to different prisons. I swear down. When I was in Brunsfield, she got remanded in Brunsfield. She was working in the mother and baby unit as an orderly, yeah. And then when she got caught, now she gets sacked, yeah. She got demoted because of her things that she was doing. And then I got shipped to went Downview. Boom, she lived next door to me on Downview. Crazy stuff was happening on that wing. I had her on one side and the mad on the other side saying every night, I'm like, no, this is crazy. So I'm very much in my present life now, as much as I'm talking about the past. In my present life, I'm very much trying to explain to them that not categorizing women is bad for us, okay? It's very, very bad. Allowing mothers to interact with people that do those things, and then you expect me to, no. And then you wouldn't get me into trouble, and then I can get extra charges because of how I feel about it. Then don't put them around me. It's that simple. I got silenced. I didn't get sent. I got sentenced. I didn't get silenced, should I say. I don't see why people should be allowed to do that. Go and put them in an ice box or something. What the hell? It's not good for the mind. It's not good for your energy. That's what I'm saying. So when people come out of prison, just take time with them, because what you see in there is not a joke. Like on the day to day, like I've seen people try to unalive themselves. You know, it didn't work. They go to the hospital. They come back, and before they even get to the door of their room, they try to do it again. Do you understand what I mean? Like I've seen some stuff, people taking their unaliving themselves for like £10. Come on. I've seen some crazy ass shit, man. So this is why I talk about it, because you wouldn't expect these things to happen to the scale that they do, like, and in the way that they do, and then how it happens. You know, where officers are concerned, the governors, You understand? The individuals themselves, the healthcare system, the mental health system, all these non-existent, consistent systems, yeah, that they don't have. Anyway, next one. Prison stole my CDs and my books. 3 months, that's what it says. So, when I got shipped to Downview after being remanded on the 23rd of February 2021, I went to Downview after 6 months on the 9th of August 2021. 2018. Why do I keep doing that? 2018. I'm so sorry. In 2018, went to Downview. Again, like I said, my nephew had died in the July, so I got remanded in the February. I got sentenced in the April, and then my nephew died in the July. So I was a mess. And then 2 weeks later, if that, was my birthday. 2 days after my birthday, as you know how they deal with you in Brunsfield, I just felt the slip coming. I had a visit on my birthday as well. And I sat on that visit. I'll never forget. And I said, I feel like my mum was like, I was about booking another visit. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be here. I think these people are going to ship me out. Like, I really think they're going to get rid of me. Not like that, but I think it's because they, as you know, they don't keep sentenced prisoners in Brunsfield. But they shouldn't. Brunsfield is a crazy place. It's a double ACAT jail. Plus, it was an open jail when I was there. And it was a closed jail. And it's all sorts of madness. But anyway. So I've gone to Downview. And I'm in a very bad way mentally, yeah? Very, very bad way. I've got a friend of mine that was in there with me, that's willing to come on and we can have a talk about Downview and the mental state, not just mine, but just in general. But I really need someone to come and talk about my mental state, the state I was in. It was bad, because I just didn't know how to deal with it. Like, I didn't even want to phone home. It was so bad. But so I've gone there, smoking the spice. Then I'm realizing that every week my room's getting spun. Like, why is my room was getting spun? But yeah, it was just crazy. So my room was getting spun all the time. And then I remember, like, I used to have a lot of visits because obviously after all of that's happened, I took advantage of my visits. I'm not gonna lie, I had visits every week, or as often as I could. Do you understand? As often as I was allowed, because I had them every week in Brunsfield when I was on remand. But then I had, I think, twice a month, in the other prisons. I had visits twice a month. So anyway, in Downview, like I said, all of that stuff is going on in my head, and I'm getting room spins. I'm getting lots of visits as well. They're spinning my room every day. They got me on the observation table for the visits. It was crazy, man. And then I remember my cousin came and brought my daughter up on the Wednesday. That was the last visit I had in that prison. And then one morning, early mornings, like 6, 7 o'clock, yeah, they come to my room talking about, we're going to do a room spin. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Because, like, by now, I'm just tired of this. I'm really tired of it. Like, you keep coming in here, you don't find anything, but you keep coming. Fine. So I've literally just flung on the prison issue tracksuit. And I've said, come on and let's go. So they've taken me now. When I used to go, where I used to go to get, like, when they're doing the room spin, there's like a listener suite in Downview, right? Like on my landing. So they would normally just put you in there, let you sit there until they finish searching your room and then come back and get you. But they took me off the wing and to another wing. So even when I'm walking, I'm saying, why are we going so far? She was like, oh, no, this is just how we do it. And I'm just saying, that's deception. Like, if you're going to ship me out, just say that you're shipping me out. What the hell am I going to do? I'm in prison. Can't go nowhere. So I might cry, because I don't want to leave if I'm going too far away. But it's not the end of the world. So anyway, so she took me to another wing and they put me in a cell. It was on a methadone wing that they put me, right? B wing. So I was on C wing. They put me on B wing. So remember, this is like 7 a.m, so no one's unlocked at this point, yeah? So they've put me on B wing, and then You can hear unlock now, innit? So everyone's getting unlocked for breakfast, whatever. And then the girls in there, they know they're fast, innit? Everyone's up, so they heard when they brought someone over or someone's, they're chatting it. So my friends come to the window. She's like, "What are you doing here?" So I was like, "I don't know. This is where they brought me." She was like, "No, you're getting shipped out." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You're getting ghosted." I was like, "What?" I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "What is that?" She's like, "They're like basically they're taking you out of prison." I'm like, "Nah, what is going on? Like, what have I done?" So lo and behold, 2 hours later, they've come back. They're like, "Yeah, you're going to Foston Hall." He was Irish. He was like, "You're going to Foston Hall. We've had enough." I'm like, "No, this has to be a joke." I said, "Where are you taking me?" He was like, "You're going to Derby." I'm like, "Derby, like." I remember I have a friend that lives in Derby, and I've never ever gone to see him because he lives so far. And now I gotta go to Derby. I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. Anyway, um, I've then got in I've gone outside to get in this van. I'm like, "Where's my asthma pump?" Because now I'm just trying to play now. Because I'm not. I don't want to go. I don't understand why you lot are doing this. Anyway, when I've looked at this Serco van, all the stuff in my room are in the Serco van, well packed up in bags. Yeah, but then there's more bags. There's more stuff than is mine. Yeah, and then I've looked and I've seen a pink dressing gown. This pink dressing gown belongs to my friend, innit? So I'm like, "D." She's like, "Lee." I'm like, "Nah, they didn't." She's like, "No, they did us dirty." I'm like, "But what's going on?" Anyway, so I've got in this van now. 3 hours. 3 hours it took, yeah, to get to Derby from Ashford. No, not Ashford. Sutton, sorry, one of them, I can't remember, but it was HMP Downview that I got a ship out from, and I went to HMP Foston Hall. If you want to do the distance and the maths, that's up to you. I was in that fucking van for hours. I was using that travel John, yeah, like there was no tomorrow, yeah. I swear down, every like 10 minutes, I was so anxious. And because I've been driving since I was like 17. I've driven like most places. I've never been to Scotland though, Kath. So, but my daughter really wants to go. So when I get back my car, I definitely will be doing that. But I've driven many. I've driven to Newport. So when they're driving, I'm like, huh? I'm like, Coventry. But no, I saw Birmingham first. I'm like, okay. Then I saw signs to Coventry. Then I saw signs to Nottingham. I'm like, no, this is like, where are you taking me? So anyway, so I've got there. Let me try to fast forward a little piece because I'm not sorry, but the details are important, yeah. So got there now, got off the bus, whatever. Remember, this is a ghosting, isn't it? So now they're complaining about the bags. Oh, there's too much bags. Bearing in mind, they're always telling you that you can only have a certain amount of bags on the bus. But when it suits you to come ship out people out of your jail, you got us in there with all. I think we had like 20 bags. There was a lot of bags. We had so many bags, yeah. So anyway, so I'm going through my bags now, doing my prop card, taking out bag at a time, taking out my set, and because I haven't packed my case, I haven't packed my stuff. They've packed my stuff. So I'm unpacking now. You're allowed to have 30 CDs, yeah? You're allowed to have 30 CDs maximum. It sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot. Trust me. When you're listening to that shit over and over and over again for years, it's not a lot. Just saying. 30 CDs, and you're allowed to have, I think untold books or a decent amount, yeah? So I had CDs. Music is my thing. It got me through a lot of my sentence just as much as the faith did, and books. I love to read, yeah? So that got me through also. My books were very powerful as well, not no idiot book, yeah? So I feel like that was quite intimidating for them as well because it's not books that you see. You don't just buy those books off Amazon. So they basically stole my books and my CDs. So when I was doing my prop card, I'm looking at this pile of CDs. I'm like, why does my pile look so low? Because I had the maximum. I had 30 CDs. They stole my CDs and they stole 13 of my CDs and 10 of my books. Yes, they did. And then when I spoke to someone in the prison that they shipped me out of, and I was told that my stuff was in the library. Yeah. So I contacted the prison. It took me 3 months. That's why it says 3 months. It took 3 months to get any compensation out of them because I refused to stop. Like, my mum does not work on the street. Yeah. So there's no way her hard-earned money is going to be wasted because of what? Because you feel you're going to steal my stuff. How dare you? And it's not the first time they did it. They stole my first parcel when I went to jail. When I went to Brunsfield, they stole my parcel. And you know, when you've got a mother like mine who tracks everything, she was she was doing the most. She was sending me the emails daily. She's like, look, this is the tracking number. Ask them. So when I gave the officer the tracking number the day, she came back and she said, yeah, it was signed in reception. I said, so where's my parcel then? Like I've just come to jail for the first time in my whole entire life. My mum has done the whole thing. She looked at that list and bought everything. Because she cussed me about it. I bought you a new dressing gown, new this, new that, and it's just gone. I said, I don't know. If you say you sent it to the prison, then it should be here. And it did. It got there, but then you slowly start to realise that these people thief your things. They thief your things. I'm just saying. They steal your stuff. But you've done the rounds. That sentence. But I said, yeah, I did the rounds, man. Did more than the rounds. Come to Scotland, have a big home, you can stay. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, yeah, but my daughter keeps asking me about Scotland. She wants to go to Scotland. And it'll be nice. I've never been. I mean, somewhere I wanted to go. Did you get them back? Oh, no, I didn't get them back. I got £139. £139. It was a fight, man. Because what happens is I went to another prison, right? So I'm in all the way in Derby. So I'm putting in an app, but the app's going to this prison's admin, and then this prison's admin has to send it to the other prison. But were they sending it? No. So I had to keep writing apps for it to go. You understand? And again, it's not like the pod system, darling. You have to do apps like paper. What I showed earlier, like everything was paper. Everything, a canteen, everything was paper. Everything you do is paper, paper, paper. You understand? So now I'm just fucked. Everything for me is just paper, paper, paper. I love it. I love it. I do, I do, I do. But oh, what's this? Yeah, man, that show until will have to be another day. Right, let's see what else we got. Oh shit, in the jar. I appreciate you guys being here though, man. Definitely. Hope you've found it interesting. You should have made and pay for your stuff. Good, I'm glad to hear. Yeah, man, I had to. But perseverance. A lot of people have had their things stolen, and the first one I didn't because I didn't know, innit? But when they stole my CDs and my books, I'm in the middle of nowhere and I haven't got, and I haven't. Do you know what makes it worse? Well, I know they stole them is because remember I said to you, I was in my room. I didn't explain the whole story properly. We had a little gathering in my room the night before. My room was like a massive room, innit? For some reason. So everyone was always in my room, like for associations and in the evenings and whatever, yeah? So we had that in the evening. Yeah, we had that. And the officer came on the landing and I remember him coming on and just standing there looking and smiling. Who knew he was smiling because he knew he was getting rid of my ass? Motherfucker. But I was in my room. My point is that I was in my room, got locked in. I was in my room. I borrowed the same person I got shipped out with. I borrowed her DVD player the night before. When they came in my room, they said, is there anything in the room that doesn't belong to you? I said, yeah, the DVD player. And then, lo and behold, she was already on the bus. I tell you, these people are fucking devious. She made him pay. No inspiration. Oh, bless you, man. Prison isn't for ladies. Prison's for monsters. It's rehab. Yeah. You say that, man. Hi, all been here. Wow, but oh no, you're okay, man. I'm just here going through my jar and just having a little chat with you guys. Oh, there is no look in prison. That's a good one. I like this one. There is no look in prison. See, when I came out, yeah, and I started walking on the street, I was like, but you look like someone on my wing. No, Nadia, am I telling a lie here? There's no fit. Like, I've had gangster grannies. Like, I've had grannies in wheelchairs, yeah, that bun up their husband for, yeah, doing all sorts. But she's granny. Gangster granny, I used to call her. She was a little gangster, though. They gave her a sentence, and this woman told them is that it? So they gave her more time, and she laughed. I said, no, you're doing too much. I'm talking about a proper old lady. All right, so there is no look. So you've got people that are deaf, yeah? You have people in there with Down syndrome. Don't piss me off. I was in the segregation unit on Bronzefield with a girl with Down syndrome. What's she doing in there? Oh, you did paint and decorating. Then that's the one job I didn't do, you know. I did everything else. Bix, orderly. I did orderly for the chaplain. I did orderly for the gym. I did orderly for the jailbirds. I worked in the call center. I did orderly for the salon. Yeah, I used to just like to do orderly and just clean. I used to love it, man. But I had a good officer as well that used to work up there. So I used to just go up there and work. Anything to get the day, anything to make the day pass in it. But yeah, the look. So there is no look. Definitely isn't no look. That you would be surprised the faces that you see in those places. Your face is familiar, but I think we were in the different dates. When you said maybe I'm getting my dates wrong. 2018. August, December 2018 to 2019. No, I left in December of 2019. Yeah, I went to Send 2020, 2021. Yeah, because I came home 2021. But I have got a platform on TikTok. You might see me on there. But yeah. So the look. Anyway, let me try because there is no. You've got men in there with wigs on, like literal Mrs. Browns. There was a lady in there with an oxygen mask. Let me rephrase that. There was a lady in there with an oxygen tank attached to her wheelchair. That was interesting. You left August 22. Yeah, I was in Send by then. I think. I'm so sorry. Please don't ignore me. I've literally had a long day. I've been up since 5 o'clock. Excited though. So I'm fine. I'll give this another half an hour because I don't want to bore you guys. But yeah. So I've covered people that are deaf, people with Down syndrome, blind. Yep, met a blind lady in there. We've covered the old. Oh my God, there was a young girl in there. She looks about 12. Oh my God. She was about 12. You may know her. You may even know who I'm talking about. I won't say her name because that's a bit rude, man. Like, yeah, give her a little privacy. But she's a young girl. She was in there. She was in there. And then she came out. I remember seeing her on a visit one day. Like, you know how the visits, what, I'm going to stop saying because it's only Nadia that knows. But when you go on visits, like they get all the people from the different wings and then they carry you all together to the visits, right? So this girl never lived on my wing. She looked like a 10-year-old. I'm being honest. She was this tiny, skinny little thing. So I said to her, how old are you? She's like, old enough. I said, okay. Next thing I know, I've come home last year. Did she not just got a M charge? She's not doing a life sentence right now. This little baby, man. License finished in July. Oh, it finishes in July. Well done. Can't wait either. Yeah. Trust me, baby. Trust me, man. That's it, man. Book that flight. It's beautiful, man. I don't think it's a feeling that you can describe. It takes you away. It's nothing to do with like the prison per se. It's almost like it's a mad experience to be on probation, man. Like I never had no interaction much with them, but it never helped. I needed the interaction, innit? I needed the interaction. Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like every day's a good day. I know who you mean, Indian. Yes, that one. Turkish. When you say Indian, I'd say Turkish more like got a ponytail, young, little, tiny thing. So there is no look. That's what we're saying. There's no look. No. All shapes, sizes, colours, races, nationalities. You got people. It's mad. Like, you know, most women I met that just got off the plane. They've never been to England before, but they got caught with drugs and it just in the. Why am I laughing? It's not funny, but it's like last week you was in Grenada. Now you're in HMP Bransfield. Tiny, she said, yeah. Yeah, that one, man. It's sad, innit? I met her mum and dad, but I saw her mum and dad on visits. Like, they used to visit her, and it's just like their poor life, man. That would ruin me. My experience of segregation in Downview. My experience of segregation in Downview was inhumane. It was inhumane. Did you hear me earlier say to you that the lady lived in the segregation? She lived there. It was inhumane. Okay? I think the only thing that was nice is that they had a wet room. Like the shower was a wet room. A wet room, sorry. A wet room. Other than that, we had like this windy radio that you used to have to use. Oh my god, it was awful, like that wire bed. You know, you could look out the window, but there's nothing out there. It's awful. Awful, awful. And you know what's horrible about the seg, right? Is the other people in there. So you have people in there on like 24-hour watch. And this is Downview I'm talking about. Because I only went to, well, that's a lie. I went to Seg in Brunsfield. But yeah, that wasn't the same. I think the Seg in Downview, that's a proper segregation, man. That's like the movies. It's awful. It's actually awful. The Seg. How do I explain it? Like, it's literally how you see it on TV, like the metal. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's a mind fuck, yeah. To like take someone out of a situation. So in my cell, so you went down for you. So I lived on Freeze North. I lived in Freeze North. I had the biggest room on that landing, yeah. I think that's why I hate. I didn't ask for the room. I don't understand. It's a room. This is not my house. I don't live here. I feel like the officers envied and grudged the women, you know, for the little things that they had. You know what I mean? For no reason. But yeah. So the segregation in Downview, it's like the whole prison is just a shambles, man. But I liked Downview in the sense of like I could settle there. That was a prison I was willing to do the rest of my sentence in. If I'm honest, it was very productive. I'm not going to say that it wasn't. It was very productive. They had Max Spillman. They had, you know, the London College of Fashion. They had many courses that you could do in education. They had loads of stuff that you could do, man. When I was there, I was doing an Inside Out program with students from Dumont University. I did a criminology degree. Got 15 credits out of that program, working with people from outside. So it was a good. Definitely H&P is different to Brunsfield. That's a lot of the reasons why I come on here and talk as well, because I feel like people need to understand that there is a big difference between, you know, HMP and Brunsfield. The way Brunsfield is run is I feel like it's there to just like literally mash up your head in it. Like the things that they do in that jail are not normal. They're not. It doesn't make sense. You know, there's no logic behind it. Basically, it's just because. And then if tomorrow someone comes on and decides that it's just because it's not, then it's just because it's not. And it's like, can we get some consistency? Because that stuff is really kind of messing with people's heads, mate. To be fair. So yeah, right. We got 15 minutes. Let's see. We can do a free for all. If you've got questions, you can ask questions. I don't have to go through this, you know. I just thought it would be a good idea because I find it easier to One's about Christmas. I don't want to talk about Christmas. I don't want to. More freedom. Yeah, man, more freedom, man. More freedom for everyone. I just feel like if there's a community like this for people to come out of prison too, what do you guys think? Do you think if there's a community for people that come out to engage with people that have actually gone through that, rather than just, you know, all these professional stuff, like, do you feel like the lived experience, do you feel like you learn something from the lived experience as just a normal civilian that's just sitting on YouTube? Like, do you feel like you learn something? Like, what draws you here? Do you know what I mean? I'm still here watching. Yeah, I know. Just wondered, are there any? There are way more. How much officers? Fresh out, yeah, absolutely. Fresh out of McDonald's, yeah, that's funny. But you're right. And they're a lot younger. They're like 20 something. You know, the Hannahs, the Sams, they're all very young children. Oh, I've got a call, but she's going to have to wait. No one's, today's my free day. I've put my phone on Do Not Disturb for the first time. I think everyone's panicking. They think something's happened to me. No, I just need some time for me. Thanks. Because I give a lot of my time. All right, Avon girls and budgies, and then I think I'll do one more, and then that's me. Avon girls and budgies. So as I said, you get Avon, but the girls in the prison, they drink the Avon. They think it's alcohol, so they will save their money, buy the Avon, the little some little room scents, and they used to drink it. That was in Foston Hall. I know they used to do it in Downview, but I never used to see them. But in Foston Hall, you would see because Avon came once a month, so you would see the girls come and get their stuff, and within an hour, they're just in a whole nother zone, and you're thinking, what happened? It's the Avon. They drink it. Weirdos. I find it all interesting. It's part of our life. I suppose I love hearing what your plans are with probation. Yeah, my plans with probation. So I currently deliver workshops to probation actually. So I'm what you call an experiential advisor. There is a lot of space for this role. I think they've just closed it, but I feel like I've said to my manager they need to open it back because we don't have many. But basically, what I do is I go into the probation offices and I do co-production and deliver PCOP training, which means that I use my experience to help them to do things like fill out sentence plans and OASIS reports and things like that. I give them, we give them role play sessions where we show them what it actually looks like to be sitting in front of them on the first day of probation, like coming out of prison for the first time or whatever it is, but sitting in front of probation for the first time. So we do role plays around that and show them the reality of what's actually happening within, because a lot of people don't engage with probation. So we try to make sure they understand why, give them tools as to how that can make it better, and tell the story. Like my story is a very big story because I never got support. I came out of prison with my 5-year-old daughter and got no support from probation. Free face-to-face appointments for 3 years. Shambles. So I work with them. I have a lot more empathy for the probation service now. Now that I work with them, it's humbled me a bit. I don't feel so targeted, if that makes sense. But it's still not an excuse. And in order to make things better, you have to involve the people that have been through the system. You can't sit in front of me as someone that's never been through the system and tell me about how I'm feeling or have the expectation that, I'm home and everything's okay now. No, it's not. There's a lot to unfold. Like probation, I try to introduce things like, talking about what the person went through when they was on their sentence, because I don't think that those things ever get addressed. People come out and it's like, okay, so the risk and no, people have had experiences in that place and it needs to be addressed, isn't it? And then that's part of the sentence plan. That's part of the rehabilitation. Like even for me, the minute I went into that prison, any thought about crime, bearing in mind I went to prison for an evasion of prohibition, I'm just saying, so we don't even call that a crime. But anyway, like, yeah, it's just mad. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. That overworked him, man. I think I saw in Bronzeford 2 girls nearly died drinking. Yeah, yeah, they did. It's very dangerous. Yeah, but what? Not no. But this is the thing. It's not about whether you mind or not. It's about not everyone's like you. Not everyone's like me, innit? Yeah, I've sorted out my shit myself, but that's not the point. You've got a service and within the system, yeah, the National Probation Service, yeah. That means that there is a pyramid of people getting paid. Do you understand? So you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, well, they leave me alone and it's okay." Everyone said that to me. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not to leave me alone. Your job is not to leave me alone. Your job is to support my rehabilitation. Because if it was left to them, I probably would have got a recall. Not because I committed a crime, but because the level of vulnerability would have exceeded. Yeah, which is something that is on my report. I was a vulnerable woman. I gave birth to a premature baby. I was in a vulnerable state. And then I ended up, you understand? And then this situation happened. So the first things they should have asked me about was my child. They do. They do. I don't listen. I write to the heads. I don't talk to people anymore. I deal with the regional managers. They're the people that call my phone and talk about, can we have an appointment? Of course you can, because I'm not about to speak to your staff members that have no understanding about how to deal with people's emotions, especially in this situation. 3 years of prison, and 3 years away from my daughter. They moved me from one borough to well, they didn't move me. They moved me out of borough, or they didn't help me to get back to borough. They didn't care about my connections with my family, my mum, my sister, who had literally looked after this child every day for the last 3 years. Now you've given her back to me. Well, now my mum's given her to me, and you've moved me quite out of that. That makes sense, doesn't it? I was doing a school run for an hour every day. So that's 4 times a day on that train after COVID. Don't piss me off. Like, sometimes it gets me really annoyed because there was no help. But I can do that on here. I can vent in this space. When I go to, in my professional space, I'm able to do that so effectively, man, because they need to know it's not against them, it's for them. Yeah? Like, people are going to continue to go to prison because that's just the way things are. But if this can help prevent people to get treated like this in the future, then fine. If this can help one probation officer change the way they do their job, I'm happy. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, it has been happening. I've got hugs from probation officers. I've had them say the same thing that people say in my personal life. Like, how did you do it? Like, you're amazing and this. And I'm like, it's quite patronizing to tell someone that they're amazing through their, telling me I'm an inspiration. That's one thing. But telling me that I'm amazing because I've gone through all this shit. Yeah, it's not really washing with me. Not from them anyway, because I'm amazing because you failed. Make it make sense, please, because I don't want to be amazing because you failed. I just want to be amazing because I'm amazing, innit? Yeah, it is terrible. Yes, they should do more. But I think they don't understand too many people with all this extra supervision, all this. Yeah, but slowly the system is going to change. Not dramatically, but just little things. Some of these little things is about timing. Like, for example, when you come home, you know, you have to you'd make your plans of release within your last 12 weeks, right? However, if you was to do it from a year before, or like the earliest convenience, you can do it from 12 months. You check in again at 9 months. You check in again at 6 months. Then you check in at 3 months, and you make sure that that person that you're supervising is you understand, is ready to come back into the community. That way, when they come in, you might not have much work to do because you've done it all already. They don't want to do that. I say to them, why don't you utilize the email a prisoner? Utilize the purple visits. You're making it like your job is hard. You're making your job hard. There's so much tools and apps out here that can help with this, but they don't want to use it because they want to sit there and go, oh, it's overwhelming, oh, it's too much work. No, you're just lazy. Let's be real. People don't people don't really like or love their jobs as such anymore, especially in the probation service. Many of them have been in it for so many years. It's like they're just stuck in their ways. Do you understand? And those are the ones that I find quite challenging in my workplace until the workshop's over. And they're the ones that are like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like, yeah, of course it is, because it's from people with lived experience. I think it hits different when you have someone speaking that has the experience, has lived it, yeah, breathed it. Hello, what is the story about? So it's not really the story. So basically, today, guys, I have been out of prison for 6 years, which means that I'm talking shit. So today I have been off license. I'm off license today. So today, no more license. I don't have to do anything. I can travel the world again. I have my life back. I don't have this feeling in my chest anymore. Yeah, it's a strange thing to explain, but today I am off license. So I just had my little jar here, that I was writing some stuff in yesterday, going over some little bits and pieces that happened in the prison that I thought would be interesting to talk about. So yeah, not really much of a topic, just introducing myself to the YouTube space because I haven't really been on here, and I'm really hoping to come on here and do some more videos and lives and interact with some more people, because I find this space a lot more interactive than TikTok, to be honest with you. And I find like with YouTube, I think if you're interested, you're here. If you're not interested, you just won't be here. So again, I appreciate you guys for being here. I never knew who mine was until I left. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know who my probation officer was until I don't even want to go into it. They sent me to the wrong probation office. I didn't know who my probation officer was even until now. It's madness. But why were you in prison? I went to prison for an evasion of prohibition. So I have an interview with Raphael Rowe on his Second Chance podcast. So yeah, you should watch that. It's actually really interesting, and you get to get a bit of a understanding of the crime that was committed, that I was sent for. Yeah, that I was sent away for. But yeah, I went to prison for an evasion of prohibition, which some people may have heard of it as a conspiracy. But on my papers, it says an evasion of prohibition in it because they're not as smart as they think they are. You're not going to send me to prison for something and not explain what it is. So yeah, so hi to anyone that's just joined. Yeah, it's nice to see you all here. I've just been here talking about. I'm just here, just holding a little vibe. You know, it's been a very long journey, this 6 years, and I've got, my daughter. She's been amazing. She's been amazing. How does it even? What is it, babe? I'm literally still trying to figure that out myself. Okay. No, what it means is that I know. What it means is that I knew something and I didn't tell the police, basically. So, because they couldn't do me for a conspiracy, they basically did me for an evasion of prohibition. Pick up yourself, Daniel. Yeah, because they couldn't do that. So they put it down to an evasion of prohibition. It's weird. I know. Even in my reports, it says, it says my name and it says, this person's name is not mentioned in the report. It's like, okay, so why did you send me to prison? But I'm over it. Okay, I take accountability for the contribution that I made in order to allow people in my life in the first place to even allow these things to happen. That's as far as it goes for me, if I'm honest. Yeah, this wasn't a situation where I actually was out here doing crimes, and no, I'm a very upstanding member of the community. Yeah, I've never been arrested in my life, never been in trouble with police in my life, never, until this situation. It happened when I had my first child. Didn't have a child with no intent. I didn't have a child and then have the intentions in any way to commit a crime because I didn't. That's not what I did. I literally wanted this child more than life. She was the only thing I ever wanted, and then I managed to get her, and then this happened. So yes, so yeah, it would be good to see if someone else could come and give me their views of what it is, because when they explain it in the law terms, it just looks like you have the face of someone who has gone through a lot. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm tired. Don't say that. I'm so tired. I've been up since I've been up from morning. I'm tired and a bit drained. Oh no, don't say that. So it looks like someone that's been through a lot. I have been through a lot though, but it's not supposed to show on my face. Don't do that. Yeah, it's a conspiracy. Yes, but it's the most stupid case of conspiracy you could ever find. Because most conspiracies is just conspiracy. It doesn't say conspiracy / invasion or prohibition. The 50th US president. I started with January. Okay, cool. Great. I think is it that time of night when people are. You've never heard of it. I know. You look great and I'm pleased for you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Susan. I'm good. I'm pleased for me too. I picked out another one, but it says how I found out. Oh, it's how I found out. Strong lady warriors, how we are. We are, my darling. We are. We have a choice, man. It's how did I find out about my granddad, Latoine? Oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to talk about too much of it. Well, I found out my nephew died on the news. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was watching Good Morning Britain. I made a routine so every day when I woke up, I was awake before the officers in Bromsfield because they were perving. There was always perving, dirty bastards. So I used to make sure I was awake. and dressed to a degree. You know, like at least decent. So when they're looking through the hatch, they're not seeing anything inappropriate. Um, so yeah, so I was watching Good Morning Britain, and there he was. He just popped up on the screen, and I was just like, I think I went back to sleep and woke up. Yeah, I think I kind of closed my eyes and woke up again. Because I think, do you know what happened? I remember calling my sister the day before. No, I called my mum, sorry. And my daughter was with my mum. And I was saying to her, why is my daughter with you? And she wouldn't answer, like, she wasn't really answering straight. But anyway, yes, I got up that morning and saw my nephew on the news. And they said that he'd been, yeah, he'd been stabbed or whatever. It's like, yeah. And then, and it says, how did I find out about my granddad? Oh, my granddad died 18 days before I came home. So that was like COVID, yeah. And I remember it was a Sunday, and I woke up that morning. Someone asked me to do their hair, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it for you, but I just need to make a few phone calls." I was thinking of my dad all day, and I was like, "Oh, my dad, where's my dad? Where's my dad?" I need to call him, but you know how prison goes, man. You got to find the moments to call because it is quite. You get busy in there for some reason, yeah. Busy doing absolutely fuck all. So yeah, so my granddad was in hospital, I remember, and I was going up to the visits because I was in East Sutton Park. So I was going up to the visits to call him, and we had our little call, which was nice. And then I remember that Sunday, I was like, I need to call my dad. I just remember like I didn't get a chance to get to like to call him between getting up in the morning, going gym, going to like work, coming back, getting like the afternoon bang up and whatever. I didn't really get a chance to do that, yeah. So I remember calling my dad, man. But I could feel it, like I just felt it, man. But that was him. And then my uncle Bobby, oh Lord. So I got ghosted to Foston Hall. And how I found out about my uncle here is actually not through emails, but my mum sent me some emails, yeah. And it's like I just knew something wasn't right. Um, anyway, how did I find out? Sitting in my room, I think the officer called me to the office. And when I went in there was a chaplain lady in there. Let me just think about this because I feel like I half knew that my uncle wasn't well. No, I think my mum had said that he'd gone to the hospital and that she was going to his house and he allowed her to clean up because he's a man, he don't let no one in his house. So I was like, oh, that's nice, isn't it? Letting you clean up. And I thought that email was the one that was a bit strange for me. But yeah, that was a chaplain and I was in Derby, so I didn't see anyone. That was so fucking hard, yeah. But it was like a powerful hard. It was like, this is actually ever going to make you or break you, Lee. True word. This is going to make you or break you. And it literally made me. My stepdad's mum passed as well. Yeah, that one hit quite hard as well. I haven't really dealt with that, to be fair. My brother died. When my brother died, I swear to God, I was running around that prison like a mad woman trying to get hold of the hospital. And my brother died of a tumour. My brother died of a brain tumour at the age of 42. 41. Let me not get that incorrect. And yeah, so he had it before I went away. It was just a bit of a shock that it just happened the way that it did. Really, it's mad. So it's been quite hard trying to just navigate with my dad around that and how he feels about it. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird. So obviously I went to prison and my dad lost his son and his dad. Lost his mum while I was on bail. Lots happened in my life, not gonna lie. My aunt, which is like the woman that, like I said, she pulled me out of the womb. I found out she passed as well on the phone. I remember calling my mum, and she was like, she said, "Oh, I'm at my auntie's house." And what's mad is that my mum and this particular aunt wasn't speaking at that time. So when she said it, I was like, "Oh, that's nice." And she went, and I was like, and she was like, "No, it's not." And then I remembered, I was thinking, shit, she's got cancer, innit? She's been sick for a little while. But she got better due to the food, like she changed her diet and stuff. And Yeah, and I remember she was like, she's too poorly to talk, but she can hear you. And I remember speaking to her, and then, yeah, I remember speaking to her, and then that was it. That was it, man. So, I just feel like, you know what? I just feel there's too much excuses that people make. Yeah, be sad. Just saying. Right. So, oh no, that one's a bit boring. It's not boring, but it's canteen. It's like canteen difference. All right, well, pay difference. Let's see. Work in the servery. Oh, that's an interesting one. Let me see. I've got loads. So I'm just gonna pick. I want an exciting one, man. Being on basic in Brunsfield, Downview, or Foston Hall. Very different experiences being on basic, you know. Basic is when you're stripped of everything. Oh, there it is, the prison pay. Brunsfield is when you're, no, sorry. Basic is when you're stripped of everything. TV, association, all this nonsense that you don't really care about because you just want to go home. Do you know what I mean? No one cares. I was put on basic for, it worked out to like 52 days. That's how I calculated it too. 52 days. Because it was a 28-day basic, and then it's like he found a reason to like put me on basic again. Like the day as it finished. He used to do that a lot. Jarring man. What else about basic? Yeah, so basically you can't really buy nothing as well, so you get loss of earnings most of the time. So with the little £10 that you make, they say you can't spend that. It's, the punishment is already that I'm in here. What else do you want me to do? These weirdos. That's why I keep saying, Nadia, but people find it hard to accept. Oh, that's what you keep saying. That we are all equal. Yeah, we're not the same, but we are equal. This ego bias, we are all one, and we're special in here for whatever we have. Absolutely, it's not even what we have to offer; it's what we were sent here to do. We were sent here to do work as individuals. You understand? And we have to learn how to do that work, man. Because part of your journey was part of the work. That was part of the work you had to do, Nadia. Is this my Nadia? Or is this a Nadia? I wonder if this is. Well, then it can't be because. No, it's not my Nadia. Ignore that. You would have said that ages ago. It's not. Basic in Downview. Basic, yeah, it's just another way to just control the mind. Like, for me, I didn't care about stuff like that. I didn't care about their TV. I didn't care. And the officers used to come in my room and be like, what do you do? I'd be like, I read books. I listen to music. What do you want me to do? I can't conform to this little dangling carrot of yours. I don't watch TV. Anyway, moving on. Pictures. Where are we now? Right, we've got the last one now, guys. Okay. And then that's my current hub. So pictures and posts. Your own friend always asks me for that. Jimmy. Right. Pictures and posts. Okay. Hold on. Us ladies should stick up for one another. Yeah, we do. We do. We should promote. I feel like you're right. We should promote it a bit more, but we do. We need to just focus on us. If we're doing it, then people will start to follow suit because they realize that we're not budging. Do you get what I mean? But yes, last question. Well, not question, but last topic we're going to talk about is pictures and posts. So they used to photocopy everything. Look at this. Look at this was my daughter's first day at school, yeah. And they photocopied it then. You know how cheeky that is? Look at that. Look at my baby. They sent me her first time at school. She's so sweet. She's too sweet. But yeah, they photocopied. I'm looking for my dad's card. My dad sent me a birthday card, yeah? And they photocopied that too. They photocopied everything. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's halfway. That's the front of it. My dad's card that he got me for my birthday. But that's how the card got. That's how the card came. Imagine. Cannot believe. Oh, yeah. It is. It's cute, but it's not cute when you're imagine getting your stuff and it's photocopied, and you're like, really? Like a lot of my post was photocopied, man. And then pictures. So pictures took long to come. Pictures took so long to come because, as you know, security. So that was annoying because I was getting like, my lot was sending the free print pictures, in it, the 45 a month, which was not helping. And then sometimes they would send like 200 pictures of quotes and stuff for my wall, and it's mad because some prisons would allow you to have some pictures, and then other prisons will say that you can't have them. So I just find it's just a whole whirlwind of head, and if you've come out of that situation, then you are special, because not everyone gets through this. Like, I'm telling you, excuse me, not everybody gets through what you witness on a day-to-day basis in that place. Like, from the abuse from the officers to the women, sexual abuse and exploitation. Literally. Yep, sexual abuse and exploitation, the racism, the 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 prejudice, it's all too much. Like, they have their own rules in the prison, and we as um we as the women in the prison, we're the ones that run the prison. We were the ones that made sure that the women ate. We're the ones that are cooking the food. You know, strange behavior. I think I had every job except for I had every job because except for the kitchen in Bronzefield, I just couldn't do it. I saw the caliber of people in that prison alone, and I realized how the system worked, in the sense of, like, they come in and they need to just get they come in and they need to just get a job, and then 9 times out of 10 they end up in the kitchen because it's the most highest paid jobs, right? In Bronzefield. For what I was doing, I was delivering workshops. I was getting like £1.20 a day. Don't piss me off. I was getting like £1.20 a day for delivering, for doing something that costs that I literally am getting paid £600 to do. And I was getting paid. What is that? Oh, yeah, I was getting paid peanuts, but yeah, the post was a shambles. Pictures, shambles. Sometimes I didn't want to put pictures on my wall because, again, you don't know who's around, isn't it? That was quite hard, having pictures, and you know when I'm missing my daughter. I have a whole album, actually. I'm not getting up, but I have an album, that my prison album, I call it. Like, it was an album I used to go into, and just anytime I had a bad day, I just go through my album, pictures of my daughter, and just anything that's happened since I've been away. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you now. I think the crazy people are coming out now. I think it's their time, so we're gonna skid out. But I will be back. Honestly, I will be back. So what are we on today? Today's Friday, so I'll do Sunday. So I'll be back Sunday 8 o'clock. If I come on live, it will always be at 8 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock. But I'll try to keep it for 8s. Even the weekday, I probably might push for 7, depending on what Fran's doing. I'll work around her time as well, because I wouldn't like to do 2. I feel like it's good to listen to the both of us differently. I definitely will come back. Definitely, man. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I honestly do. So have an amazing evening, an amazing weekend. I will see you guys Sunday. I'm learning the app now, guys. Okay, I'm learning the app. Fran's been cussing. She's like, get on the app, get on the app. So I'm on here now. I'm gonna schedule a live for Sunday evening, and yeah, we can get into it. So nice. Yeah, happy holidays. Yeah, definitely, man. Got holidays booked. My daughter's birthday's next month. I'm just so excited, man. But so much love to you guys. Honestly, man, it's been such a beautiful evening. I've had a great night. I'm not gonna lie. You guys have been so great. Just even though you're on the screen and I can't hear you, you're actually great. So yeah, big up yourselves. The day of the new chapter begins now. So yeah, no more feeling like anyone's got their hands that over my throat. Do you know what I mean? I'm good now. Now I can focus on helping women that need the help, and I can do it without feeling like I might end up, in a situation or whatever it is because I'm on probation. I'm no longer on probation. I'm here to help. I'm an advocate for change. Like, it is what it is. I'm here to stay, guys. My daughter will be turning 8. So yeah, we're gonna do a little 3-4 days in Salou. You know, I've travelled the world, to be fair. I just wanted to give her an opportunity to do the same. So we'll start in Europe because funds are low. So we'll take a little flight to Europe. But yeah, before summer and the end of the year, definitely gonna take my daughter on a long flight. She deserves it. She's been amazing through this whole journey as well. So big up my young queen who's been so good. She's been getting my little bits to me while I've been on live. So yeah, bless her. So again, anyway, guys, bless you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again. Thanks again. Bye.